724-942-3002. That's 724-942-3002 for Dennis J. Courtney, MD.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to AM Impact on Your Health. AM Impact on Your Health for every day. Our goal is to have you learn at least one thing to help you live better and longer. AM Impact on Your Health heard every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 to 9 o'clock. I'm Dr. Dennis Courtney, and I'm with you each and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 to 9. AM Impact on Your Health for each day you'll find current medical news, knowledgeable guests, and fascinating health topics, and of course, where we do encourage you to call in to join in. Today, it's been a month of firsts, last 30 days, I think, many firsts in terms of our guests. This is definitely a first today. Interesting topic, I think, dealing with compression clothing. I didn't even know there was such a thing. Something called compression clothing boosts strength, energy, improves health, and permanently reshapes your body. Hey, we're going to be talking with a young lady named Vera Watkins and a company called Morena Everyday, talking about this compression clothing, and I need to find out more about it. You probably already know more about this than I do anyway, especially you ladies out there. Morena Everyday and the representative Vera Watkins today. We're going to be learning about compression clothing and how it may help you to do a whole bunch of things. Now look, in the course of our discussions with our guest today, if you want to call in to ask a question or make a comment, the number, as always, will be 412-825-6262, 412-825-6262, and I will give that number additionally throughout the hour. Compression clothing, boosting you in many ways. I'm interested in hearing about it. I hope you are too. Hey, quick knock on the door. Come on the store. Hello and welcome in. Hello. Hello. Thought we may have had an early caller. Mistake on my part, evidently. Let me see here. Up and coming. I told you we'd have some different guests that we'd be scheduling. All happened on Friday. So let me see. We're going to have Vera Watkins today, as you already know. Rick Hill's coming back. He's going to come back next Monday. He's a gentleman that 34 years ago was literally given a death sentence at the Mayo Clinic with testicular cancer. It's 34 years later. Obviously, things turned out well for him. And he recommends that you check the contamination in the air around you. And we got to talking about air purification systems. I'm bringing him back to talk about that. Also, water. And I'll be happy to bring him to you to get a chance to speak to him once again. That's Rick Hill. Going to be next Monday. Then following that, on the 28th, and the month is really going by quick, Mark Underwood's going to be here. He's a new guest of ours. He's going to be talking about, we call it OBS. It comes under a whole bunch of different banners. OBS to me stands for organic brain syndrome. To you, Alzheimer's, maybe better said, forgetfulness, sometimes really distant forgetfulness, robbing one's dignity and the whole 9 yards. Anyway, Mark Underwood going to be talking about that on the 28th. On Wednesday, I'm going to talk about, this hit the front page yesterday in the Post-Gazette, and it was a topic that when it first came to us a number of years ago, I'm going to say 2005, we certainly played this thing up. We thought this was one of the greatest things since sliced bread. At least I did. This was the Pennsylvania Health Cost Containment Council and the publication of infection rates through all of our 165 acute care facilities throughout the state. It was the first of its kind. We were looking for great things. Well, yesterday, I think the gig is up, and we'll explain why what could have turned out to be just something so completely wonderful actually isn't turning out that way at all. At least that's in my opinion, and I'll editorialize that on Wednesday, talking about infection rates and how they're being published for the public to know, and literally, in my opinion, not really, the public isn't really being made aware of it at all. Anyway, we can talk about on Wednesday. Also, on Wednesday, talking a bit about thyroid. A lot of thyroid activity going around here in my office, at least. It's something I've been focusing on for the longest time, and finally realized that I have to transition to what I have called white lightning in the past. That is, either goes under the title of cytomel or T3. Just the other forms of treating thyroid disease are not being effective, and this T3 is. And this comes on the heels of another shortage. We just had gone through a shortage about a year ago, maybe a little less, where you couldn't find various forms of thyroid preparations. You could find the dud. The dud is, and if you're on it, you are on a dud. Complete T4 called Synthroid. Synthroid is the #1 used way of the conventional medical community in treating thyroid disease. If you have thyroid problems, you are probably on Synthroid, and it is a complete dud. It's all T4, and we'll get into a little bit on that on Wednesday too. No T3, and it's synthetic besides. I think, just to reiterate it, and I say it over and over again, the reason why it really has swept the medical community throughout the entire nation is that I don't believe a doctor ever gets called by a patient who's been started on Synthroid having some sort of a problem. It's such a dud that there'll be no problem. The person who felt lousy when they saw the doctor continues to feel lousy. No reason for concern. Certainly nothing new happening, and therefore no phone call to the doctor. And the doctor loves it. Thinks this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. Very reluctant to move to the more active forms. We're going to be talking about this a lot, especially on the heels of not being able not to get T4. You can get that by the truckload. You can call up and have it dumped in your front yard, sort of like the what do we call the mulch that's being spread around. But you cannot get, evidently, other forms of thyroid, namely Armour thyroid. Some difficulty with nature's thyroid, one of my favorites, and on and on and on. We'll be talking about that coming up too. What else? Let's see. I should mention the Fruit of the Spirit number for those of you who are interested in obtaining this wonderful drink, this elixir, this made of 14 biblical fruit purees. We've initially brought to you a number of months ago. The number to be able to get this stuff with the 14 biblical fruit purees. 1 ounce contains up to 5 servings of your daily fruits and vegetables, and 1 ounce, no less, tasting so good. Also has alkalinized minerals from the Dead Sea, a couple of herbs, really exotic herbs, frankincense, myrrh. Now you get that biblical context. And then resveratrol, which is a rather 20th century thing thrown in besides. Look, the number, 800-442-3793, 1-800-442-3793. Also, for techie inclined individuals, you want to dial up www.fruitspirit.net. That's fruitspirit.net. Let that go at that. I think I've got all my pieces of paper set up to the side. Yes, I do. Haven't lost a one of them. So look, nice to have you here on this Monday morning. Pretty gloomy weekend. Chilly as all get out. Even a little chilly today, but sun's shining down on us, folks. Hope you have a wonderful day and week as we start the week here in this month of April 2010. We're going to do this. We're going to take a short break. In the interim, we're going to dial up a young lady named Vera Watkins, representing a company called, let me get this straight, Morena Every Day. And we're going to be talking about something I know absolutely nothing about. Men, I think you got to go along with me on this one. Women, you probably are light years ahead of me and understand completely what compression clothing is. Well, I don't. So we're going to find out through Vera. Be right back with Vera in just a moment. See you then.
confused about how best to manage your health. It's no wonder. It seems that every time you turn on the television or radio, another expert has yet another suggestion for you to follow that seems to be reasonable enough, but no matter how dutifully you follow the instruction, it just doesn't quite produce the results that you were looking for. If this confusion sounds familiar to you, give us a call at the Center for Complementary Health, where we'll make some sense of the confusion based on a blending of traditional and alternative medicine that we've been perfecting over the last 7 years. We offer metabolic nutrition testing, immune system repair, natural hormone replacement therapy, chelation therapy, cutting-edge allergy correction, and a host of other safe and effective alternative therapies.
Dennis J. Courtney, M.D. is located at 3075 Washington Road in McMurray. Phone 724-942-3002.
Honey, just got the word. The company's new health plan has a $5,000 deductible. We have to make sure nobody gets sick this year. Remember what those doctor's visits cost for last year's colds and flu? Oh, sorry, I've got to go. Love you.
We can do this. We can cut the fast food lunches. Soda, that's a lot of sugar. We could all take that evening walk. And hey, I heard a program about fruit. Fruit of the spirit. What did they say? 1 ounce, the equivalent of 5 servings of fruit with herbs and minerals. We could add some to our breakfast protein shake. Fruit of the Spirit is a unique whole fruit puree. Fruit of the Spirit contains fresh fruits native to the Holy Land and alkalizing minerals from the Dead Sea. With no added sugars, Fruit of the Spirit is a unique product from 5 years of work from science-based nutritional experts. Call 1-800-442-3793 for a special promotional offer. Fruit of the Spirit, a blessing for your good health. Fruit of the Spirit, convenient, affordable, and delicious. That's 1-800-442-3793. Call them now, 1-800-442-3793.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome back once again to AM Impact on Your Health. AM Impact on Your Health, heard every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 to 9 o'clock. I'm Dr. Dennis Courtney with you today on this Monday version of the show, and bright and lovely outside. We're going to have a discussion today, as I told you in the preliminary, that I know very little to nothing about, but it's an intriguing discussion. Ladies, you probably are head over heels with me in terms of the topic of concerning compression clothing. Well, that's going to be our expert today. Her name is Vera Watkins. She's going to be talking about how you can boost strength, energy, improve your health, and permanently reshape your body. Oh, my goodness gracious. Let's dial her up right now. She's with us. Let's say good morning and welcome to Ms. Vera Watkins. Good morning, Vera. Thanks for coming aboard this morning.
Good morning, Dr. Courtney, and good morning, everyone else that is listening. And how much better can it get than that?
It doesn't get any better than that. This topic is intriguing. It's alluring. I don't know. I'm guessing that women more than men probably understand what compression clothing is. Would I be right about that?
Well, I guess women are more interested in compression for centuries just because of the shaping of the body. We all remember corsets. Women have used that for centuries. As the new research is coming out, men are becoming more and more interested in compression wear, partly for shaping, but also because of the performance. We all well know that Olympic swimmers these days no longer have the Speedos. They all have the little compression suits, and that is for performance. So compression is no longer just to shape your body, but the new research shows us also improved health, improved energy, and improved life.
Boy, you know, you mentioned a topic that certainly comes to my mind. In a previous life, I was a competitive swimmer. Speedo swimsuits at the time were just little nylon patches, but pay attention to any Olympics, quite a bit of attention is being paid to the swimsuits that are being used now. Whether they're legal, whether they're illegal, I don't know, because that seems to be something that comes up. But maybe you can explain what is a compression garment. What is one? What does it do? Yeah, how's it made? What's the idea behind the compression garment?
Yeah, well, the compression garment is a garment that is basically smaller than your body. Thus, it will squeeze your body. By squeezing your body, it will have effect on it. And we're finding out that the right kind of compression, it helps body to function a little better on a little bit higher level. And the way that it does that is it improves circulation and it helps with lymphatic drainage and thus keeps you feeling better at the end of the day. I mean, anybody whose body is oxygenated better is going to feel better at the end of the day than if you don't have any compression.
Now, just using my mind, what I'm seeing here, if you compress an area of the body, I would have guessed that, I'm thinking of the TED hose, that the people that are in the hospital and they're confined and they're immobile and that they put these long stockings on them, compression stockings are what they're called, and you're saying that increases circulation. I would say it decreases circulation. Why am I wrong? What's wrong with my thinking?
Yeah, well, compression has been a long-known remedy, and it's been used since Socrates. We all know, it's been thought people who are sick have to have a compression. And a lot of that, we didn't understand compression. It hasn't been studied until recently. All you think about it, it's the teddy hose and discomfort and pain and all of those things. Dr. Ilouise, a French doctor who started using compression garments in plastic and reconstructive surgeries, that's where the liposuction was born. He did a study, and he found out that not every compression is a beneficial compression. The only beneficial compression is that is in a certain range of compression, and that is 17 to 22 millimeter per mercury. And it's a complicated study, and it's difficult to explain it, just how all of that came about. But he found out that that's the compression that is beneficial. Under that, it's really no benefit. Over that, it could be constrictive and, in fact, even dangerous. And that's why we are learning to really understand what kind of compression is beneficial. Not any kind of compression is beneficial. And that is really important for all your listeners to understand and know. You can't just go out there and buy a garment that is much smaller than your body, squeeze yourself, and let's go, have a good day. It's not the way that it works. It has to be a right kind of compression to benefit the body.
Interesting. Now that's scientifically studied that they have up to, you say 17 millimeters of mercury is the ideal. Mercury's worth of pressure is the ideal.
17 to 22.
17 to 22.
That's the range.
Can you actually make a garment with that range in mind? Can you sort of hit it right on to hit the ideal? Yeah. Is it possible to do that all the time?
Yeah, and that's what we studied for 15 years. We have been in medical field for 15 years, and we supply garments to plastic and reconstructive surgeries all around the world. We export our garments to about 68 countries around the world. And let me tell you, we have learned a lot about compression, the body shapes and the body sizes and all of that. And we have gotten it as close as possible as you can get to that scientific compression. If you size yourself by our charts, you will have that ideal kind of compression. And that's the idea of it, wearing the ideal amount of compression to get the most benefits.
Now, just one final question to resolve this in my mind. As a medical doctor, knowing you mentioned lymphatic drainage, okay, as one of the potential goals and outcomes of wearing compression clothing. But as I view the lymphatic drainage, it's such a mild. I mean, when you do lymphatic drainage techniques, in my mind, you literally are stroking the skin, just the lightest of touch, working it toward the heart, no matter what direction you happen to be starting at, appears to be the right amount. Yet I can't envision even 17 millimeters of pressure doing anything but shutting off lymphatic drainage. Where am I going wrong? Why am I thinking this and have it wrong, whereas you may be right and I'm wrong?
Yeah. Well, one of the comments that we had, one of the ladies that wore our garment, she said, I felt like I had my personal masseuse with me the whole day long. And that's because she was in the right amount of compression. You see, when you put that right amount of compression, even though if it feels at the beginning, wow, this is not much, but believe me, when you keep it on there for 10, 12, 15, and our garments are designed really for patients who have to keep them 24/7. So when you put just enough amount of compression, it will squeeze the tissue and it will not allow the lymphatic drainage to accumulate. It will be pushed back to the heart. It's simple as that.
Very good. Well, I'm gonna go with you on this one, especially. Up to now we've been talking about how it feels on you, how you feel when you're wearing compression clothing. But you mentioned in some of the byline here that you get increased strength and energy from compression clothing. How is that so? How does that happen?
Well, by squeezing the tissue, squeezing the body, you improve the blood flow. We all know that the venous flow back to the heart has no pressure. But putting a compression garment, you support that venous flow back to the heart. The blood gets back to the heart, gets oxygenated, gets pumped back to the tissues. Boom, tissue gets more oxygen. You're feeling better.
Okay. Now, I'm interested in the kind of fabrics that you have chosen, that you've elected to reach your ideal compression of this 17 to 22 millimeters of mercury, and then why did you choose it? Why would this fabric? Does it hold up longer than anything else, or is it? Well, first of all, is the fabric, the choice of fabric, the important thing, or is it just making something smaller than you really should have it that makes it the important thing?
Yeah, the fabric is actually the key to the right and comfortable compression, and this is where our fabric comes in place. We have studied it for a long time, and we have actually developed this fabric ourselves. It is patented and it's exclusively ours. It's a F5 certified fabric. It's the only fabric out there that is F5 certified, which has 5 properties that makes this fabric so unique. It gives you the right amount of compression, and it gives you that support that you need to feel better without, restricting you or feeling like at the end of the day, oh, I just can't stand this anymore. I just need to take it off. So many people that wear our garments report that they love it. They just come home and they keep it on. And as I said again, we have been doing this for so long in medical field, and as we've learned that the compression actually it's not beneficial just for the people who had surgery, it literally should be a staple in every closet. A little compression legging or a little T-shirt that is compressive. Everybody should have some sort of a compression garment in the closet. So as we learn that, we are now getting and stepping into the market of consumer people who can benefit from our products and our long-time research every day. We've had firefighters, people send us notes how much better their back felt at the end of the day, how much less fatigued they were. It's amazing the results that we are even hearing ourselves.
Now, I can recall in one of my previous lives as a health and physical education teacher that and plenty of gals are in this course study with me, and the sports bra comes to mind immediately when I think of compression clothing, because these gals wore, and they were cinched up. They really couldn't budge in one of those. It looks like to me. But this was the way that this was handled in the athletic world. It must be a little different in terms of how restraining these maybe the fabric and how they're made and how they're fitted is for someone who's engaged in sports activity versus someone who, as you say, to me, a girl wearing one of those sports bras couldn't wait until she got that thing off. You're telling me when people come home wearing your fabric, they sit around and they want to keep the thing on because they feel better with it on. Did I hear you right?
Yes, you did.
So what was why did they make that sports bra? Or maybe that was not made correct, or how do you think about that? Do I view this thing right? One can only have to think back to the women's soccer team. Brandy Chastain takes off her top when they win it, and she reveals her sports bra. Well, it's pretty stylish to me, okay? Nonetheless, that is quite a contraption, if I remember them correctly. Tell me more about that kind of sports bra, or is that the kind of sports bra that you make?
Well, as I said, a lot of the fabrics that are out there, it's the 60s technology, and most of the fabric that is used is mesh fabric, and the other fabrics, that the stretch of the fabric is very limited. Our fabric has an amazing amount of stretch, which gives that comfort and yet gives to the compression. We have done extensive testing of all the fabrics, and as I said, we have been researching this for 15 years. We work with Georgia Tech, North State University, and Sanitize Lab. We work with independent labs to really do the testing of the fabrics, and certainly we test our fabric. And one of the big differences is our fabric, the stretch of our fabric is so unique. We have 50%, almost 49%. It's almost 50-50 of the Lycra. And Lycra is the one that gives fabric stretch, and it gives it the power to give that compression.
Yeah,
and that's a big difference.
I've heard of that material. 50%. So your fabric contains 50% Lycra.
49%.
49%.
And 51% polyester nylon.
All right. Now I'm very much intrigued. I listen to you. You have an accent that is alluring to me. I know. What is it? What's your background? How did you get involved in this line of work? How is it that there is this line called Morena Every Day that I'm looking at? In fact, I'm on the website right now. It's a pretty nice website. Give us an idea about how you got involved in this industry.
Well, I was born and raised in former Yugoslavia, which of course no longer exists. Now it's the Serbia part.
You're talking to a good Croatian boy right now. I'm glad to hear that. All right, what a twang you've got to your voice. Go ahead.
Thank you. And then I lived in Switzerland, and then I came to America. And sewing has been always my hobby. I always loved to sew, and I made all my clothes. And then my husband and I started this company 15 years ago. Our kids were small, and we were looking into the change of his career so that we could be there for our family. And we kind of fell into this industry. I knew how to sew. Bill was a civil engineer, graduated from West Point. And he was an Olympic athlete, so he knew how much every aspect of whatever touches your life has influence on your performance. And he also worked for a German company that sells pressing equipment, so he knew a lot about fabrics. And the combination of all of that really brought us to developing the new fabric that we thought we can do better than what it is out there on the market. And that's how we came up with the idea of developing this new fabric that is now really making a difference.
Well, it's so interesting, isn't it, that I wonder how many people have gone this far with it. You actually patented this fabric. Am I reading this correctly?
Uh-huh.
So you hold the patent. Nobody else is allowed to make this stuff the way you make it because you've already determined and calculated and manufacture something that is, I might say, one of a kind.
Right.
One of a kind. So that's interesting. Your husband was an Olympic athlete, so he was a great partner to have when looking at how one could increase performance. And in the sportswear line, this is where I think the beginnings of the interest really is where it's peaked in women and you say now in men who are athletically active and want to not only look good but feel good while they're engaging in their daily exercise activity. Fair enough said?
Yes, and Dr. Courtney, whose life today is not busy, and who wouldn't like to have that 10% just more output in the day? Demands of life have really come up, and they're huge on everybody's. And so everybody that can have little help from something, from this new science or whatever it may be, it's a wonderful thing to have. And this is just one of the ways how we can help our body just get through the day a little bit better, a little notch, better.
Wow. I knew this was going to be an interesting topic. I just knew it, and sure enough, it's coming out to be that way. I hope our listeners feel the same way. And by the way, Vera, you don't mind taking any questions throughout our conversation this morning, do you?
No, not at all.
Well, you're with Vera Watkins, ladies and gentlemen. She is our guest today, talking about compression garments, and I'm learning a whole heck of a lot. Men, are you learning as much as I'm learning? And women, you probably could write the book on this stuff. But you're with an expert today. If you want to get in on this discussion and give us a call to ask a question or make a comment, the number, of course, as always, will be 412-825-6262. That's 412-825-6262. Vera, why don't we do this? Let's take a short break. When we come back, let's talk about how you pick this kind of clothing. How does one know whether what they're putting on is too tight or too loose? I'm guessing there's sort of hints of the trade that you could pass on. Also, how it is that the listeners can actually get your patented fabric. Where is it obtainable and things like that? Do you mind if we take just a break for a moment?
Definitely, Dr. Courtney. Thank you.
Okay. We're with Vera Watkins. We'll be back with Vera Watkins in just a moment, and we'll continue our discussion. Be right back.
Want to help your family eat healthier? Instead of learning to disguise tofu in wondrous ways, how about some real nutritional power? If your family has the typical American palate for fries, pizza, and burgers, giving your family the blessing of good nutrition is a struggle. Fruit of the Spirit is the answer for your family's nutritional needs. Fruit of the Spirit is an all-natural whole fruit puree made from fresh fruits native to the Holy Land with alkalizing minerals. Fruit of the Spirit was 5 years in the formulation, the work of a team of top nutritional experts with independent science to confirm its antioxidant power. 1 ounce a day provides the equivalent of 5 servings of fruits and minerals. Fruit of the Spirit is convenient, affordable, and delicious. Even your picky family will sing the praises of Fruit of the Spirit. Give your loved ones the blessing of good nutrition. Call 1-800-442-3793 for a special promotional offer. Fruit of the Spirit, a blessing for your good health. That's 1-800-442-3793. Call them now, 1-800-442-3793.
This is Dennis Courtney. Become confused about how best to manage your health. It's no wonder. It seems that every time you turn on the
Dr. Courtney?
Oh, yes.
You have one call waiting, and I won't beat you for that one call.
Okay, Barry, thank you very much.
By the way, early in the show there, I heard that beep too, but I don't know where it came from. I thought maybe you bumped a number on your phone.
Hey, who knows? Mysterious as it is, we'll never know.
Okay.
Thanks, Barry.
based on a blending of traditional and alternative medicine that we've been perfecting over the last 7 years. We offer metabolic nutrition testing, immune system repair, natural hormone replacement therapy, chelation therapy, cutting-edge allergy correction, and a host of other safe and effective alternative therapies.
Dennis J. Courtney, M.D., is located at 3075 Washington Road in McMurray. Phone 724-942-3002.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back once again to AM Impact on Your Health. Heard here on KHB 620 each and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 to 9 o'clock. I'm Dr. Dennis Courtney with you today on this Monday version of the show. Interesting topic, is it not today? I'm learning all sorts of things about something I knew very little about, but isn't this always the better way it works for both of us, listeners and myself? We're with an expert today talking about a topic that I admitted I knew nothing about. I'm gaining some knowledge about compression clothing. You know, it can make you stronger, give you more energy, improving your health, and it can, we're going to get to this issue, permanently reshape your body. We didn't talk about that. We're with our expert today, Vera Watkins, who patented a fabric that now has a company. Morena is the name of the company, and we're going to find out. Maybe I had that wrong. Let's say good morning and welcome back to Vera Watkins. Hope you're still with us. Vera, you there?
Yes, I am, and good morning again.
Hey, Vera, before I screw this up anymore, how about letting us know the company, how our listeners can find out about this particular company, where they could find the clothing, the garments, what can you tell our listeners to help them with that? And then there is a caller in the background. We're going to have him. Just hold on, caller. We're going to bring you ahead right after we have Vera give us this information. Go ahead.
Yes, Dr. Courtney. Your listeners can find these garments on the website, www.marinaeveryday.com. And Marina is the name of our company. As I said, we supply compression garments for plastic and reconstructive surgeries all around the world. And actually happened to be a name of my son, Mark and Lena, put together, and we created Marina. So it's M-A-R-E-N-A. And everyday, we call it everyday because this is a beneficial compression wear for everybody, for every day. And so we just called it Marina Everyday.
So whether you're working out or not, you probably would do best to get these garments and wear them underneath whatever you're wearing already. Is that what you're saying?
And my gosh, just sitting around the house working in your yard, you will feel the difference once you put it on. And that was one of the sweetest things for us, all the testimonials that we got. People can read testimonials also on our website. And they rotate, as we go. We keep rotating the testimonials. But we get so many testimonials of people telling us how much better they feel, just, whatever activities that they do. And you can use these for just about anything. You can put a pair of leggings. You can throw a shirt over it, or, it's getting warm for sweater. But, you can look very fashionable and feel absolutely wonderful through the whole day.
Wow. We got knocking on the door going on here, Marina. That means people want to ask you questions. You don't mind taking them, do you?
No, I don't at all.
Okay, you're with Marina. Come on ahead. You're in the store. Go right ahead with your question.
Good morning, Dr. Courtney.
Hi.
Marina. Vera, I'm sorry.
This is Vera, yes.
I couldn't get the exact spelling of, I got M-I-R, but it didn't come through clearly on a radio for me.
Are you talking about the website?
Well, the website and the name of the company.
Well, once again, isn't it Marina, the Marina Everyday, M-A-R-E-N-A, MarinaEveryday.com. There's the website. And the company, am I wrong about the company? Is it the company just called Marina, or what's it called? Vera?
Yes, Marina. It's the mother company, and Marina Everyday is part of the company that sells everyday wear.
You got it now?
Yeah, well, the Marina, I'm sorry. But I got the M-I-R of the name, but not, is it E-N-D-A or?
Oh, there's no M-I-R. It's M-A-R.
Oh, M-A-R.
M-A-R-E-N, am I right about M-A-R-E-N-A? Not M-A-R.
Correct.
Okay, M-A-R-E-N-A. Marina.
N-A.
You have to use the vowels
from
other languages.
I have some very, what I call, practical questions and one scientific one.
All right, fire away. I think she can handle.
Maybe ask, who is this? Who are we talking to?
Oh, go ahead. She wants to know your name.
Oh, my name is Bob.
Okay, Bob.
Bob or Robert.
Uh-huh.
When you purchase it, do you suggest buying is it a one-piece leggings, or do you get a top and a bottom? Do you suggest upper and lower, a set, or what?
Good question. What do you think, Marina?
I would suggest the top and the bottom. That's the most practical. And,
okay. And I assume that this is a fairly thin, and is it, what's the porosity or the breathability of this garment?
That's a good question.
Another good question. Does it breathe, Vera?
I'm so glad you brought it up, Bob.
Okay.
That's the one of the parts of the fabric when I said it's a F5 certified, and that's one of the parts that fabric is very breathable. We have some very special fibers, Comex fibers, and they're made very specifically to allow breathability of the fabric. Now the fabric is not like thin, but it's also not thick. It's very comfortable. And sometimes people tend to think, oh my gosh, I'll be hot in this. But believe me, put it on and experience it.
No, that's
you will
excellent.
be cooler.
Because I have a fair amount of physical activity through the day, and then of course, well, there would be people who would be anchored to a desk. I'm not. I'm going all day long, and if I do get like overheated, not easily, but it's a factor. The other thing is when you launder such a garment, how does that change? Does that change the compressibility all that much, or is there special laundering instructions?
Okay, here's the first part of the good news for you, Bob. When you wear this garment, it has the wickability, which if you perspire, it will wick the moisture from the body and bring it on the side. This garment dries very well, and it's going to keep you cooler, more comfortable that way. Also, the fabric has antimicrobial, so that even if you sweat throughout the day, you can still keep that garment on and go with friends out to dinner. You will not smell bad or anything. And that is another wonderful thing of the fabric. As I keep saying, fabric has 5 properties, and those are
excellent. This is it sounds like a very well-researched product.
Does sound that way to me too, Bob.
The only other question, here's the technical part. You'll love this, Dr. Courtney.
Go ahead.
Has this anything to do with VEGF?
VEGF. Oh.
Why? Because when you compress like this, you're going to be compressing with heartbeats and in between heartbeats, and some of the strength and energy may be coming from increasing microcirculation.
Well, I'll tell you, you made the big jump there. I like the jump. I like the way you're thinking. But unfair question.
Because of you may be thinking.
I know. Unfair question of your VEGF is a hormone that the blood vessels secrete. It's a personal thing, a personal inside thing that Bob and I have.
There we go.
Okay.
Now I'm learning here.
Okay.
Bob, just to finish answering your question, laundering these garments, it's really not supposed to change any compression. And that is another thing, that's another test, the durability. It's another property of fabric. And let me tell you, you will love to hear this. We took our fabric and we put it on the machine and we stretched it 5,000 times to a maximum. And then after that, we measured the fabric, and the fabric had hardly no change in it. So even if you wear it for extensive time, if you launder it, the fabric is going to keep its shape.
Wonderful questions, Bob. Wonderful
answers. Well, thank you very much for all this data. I'm very interested in the product.
Very good. Thank you, Bob.
Right. Bye-bye.
Great questions there. Great answers. I like it. I think we have another one knocking on the door behind Bob. Go right ahead. You're with Vera.
Good morning, Dr. Courtney.
Hi.
I had a couple of questions also. I could see where these compression stockings could be beneficial short term, but have any studies been done long term as far as someone wearing it 12 hours a day or even, like you said, all day long term? I mean, I just can't see how long term it could be good because you're actually restricting the nutrients from
well, let's see.
circulation.
I think that's where my mentality was at the beginning of this discussion. They were sort of making a convert out of me. That 17 to 22 millimeters of mercury, pretty scientifically designed. What about it, Vera? Can you wear this long term? I'm gathering from listening to you, you could wear this from sun up to sun down, and you'd claim that you're all the better for it and having no detrimental effects on you whatsoever, especially with your circulation. Am I right about the guess, at least?
You're right, Dr. Courtney. You're very much right. And I have to keep going back to make sure that listeners understand the right amount of compression. And I cannot stress that enough. There's a huge difference in having the right amount of compression and wearing a wrong compression. And the only beneficial one is the right kind of compression. And Dr. Marco Gasparati, it's an Italian doctor, has a huge study. He has done a study on several thousand, actually, patients, and he has done permanent body changes, the body shape changes, only with compression and with, nutritional supplementation and, putting people on exercise. It's amazing to see his results, and maybe your listeners can try to Google it even. Dr. Marco Gasparati from Italy, he has done many patients' body changes, permanent body changes with compression.
All right.
But you have to have it on for an extended period of wear, and you have to have it on for, at least 8 hours a day.
Okay.
Another question. Wouldn't each individual person's compression threshold be different? In other words, say someone is known for having some swollen ankles and some fluid retention below the knee. And someone else does not have any kind of fluid retention, no kidney problems, nothing.
There you go. That's a good question.
Wouldn't that compression level be different per person? Because one could be dangerous for one person and not another.
Go ahead, Vera. What about people who may already have a medical problem in which they get fluid buildup in their ankles and their feet, for instance, and in their legs? How does this product end up helping or dealing with their particular medical problem? Is it assistance to them, or is it detrimental, from your opinion?
In my opinion, it's supportive and it's positive. Of course, people who have buildup of fluid in their feet, wearing a girdle is not going to help them very much. They have to put some socks, compression socks on, and then wear a long leggings, which then is going to improve the circulation.
You have to
set the level as far as that compression level you were speaking of. Is I guess standard in each pair. 17
to 22 millimeters of mercury. That level.
But how would that be right for each individual person?
Well, let's say for the healthy, maybe that's easily determined. I think I get the answer is if you have a predilection to accumulating fluid in the distal extremity, then you need to compress it too. And she mentioned wearing the socks and things like that, which that makes sense to me in terms of not allowing any accumulation way out in the foot. You have to compress the foot too. So
correct, and that has been something that people have come to us. And in fact, they've got a sock. They have socks that will be coming out on the market shortly, just because of that reason. People ask us that all the time, and we finally, because we did not have any socks, and now we will have a sock also to get the compression in there.
That's my next question. I mean, why isn't it good to wear? Why don't people wear snug shoes? Because they're too restricting and too confining. So I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. And then why do people wear cotton versus lycra spandex? Because the skin barrier can breathe.
Well, she's saying the product, your product is alive. It is breathing. It allows you to breathe, at least, if I heard you correctly, Vera.
Yes, definitely. In fact, this garment will breathe better than the, cotton will. Once cotton gets saturated, in sweat, it breathes really no more. But this garment is designed to soak up the sweat and bring it towards the outside and dry it out. So breathability is one of the important factors that we made sure we included in our garment. Because, we were developing this fabric and compression wear for patients who had to wear it 24/7. So we were very mindful of that.
All right. Great questions.
Is there a phone number also?
Is there a phone number that people can call to get to your company or not?
Sure.
Go ahead with that number, could you please?
Okay, the number to call is 770
Okay.
822-6925. That's a direct line. But then also there's a toll-free number for people to call, and that is 1-888-462-7362.
Are these covered by medical insurances?
No, they're not. Because we have been in the plastic surgery market, and that is, of course, not covered by it. We have not approached any insurance or anything. We just, we have been in plastic and reconstructive surgeries market for so long, so we really have not done anything with insurances.
Well, it's a better question, or a better answer is not yet. Huh? Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Thank you for your questions. They were great. Good answers, too. You are with Vera Watkins. She's here today talking about compression garment. We're learning a lot of interesting things about them. I got two questions I absolutely have to ask before our time goes up today. One is, you mentioned in the literature that at least I've received that something that you haven't really spoken of yet, which is permanent inch reduction. In other words, reshaping the body to such an extent that you actually can permanently change the sizing and the measurements of your body mass? Am I getting that right?
You got it absolutely right.
I got it. So how much in how much time can you expect permanent changes to occur? And my guess is that they are aesthetically pleasurable changes that you be achieving. How long does it take?
Anywhere 8 to 12 months, you will see visible permanent body changes.
8 to 12 months.
That is the studies that I draw from the studies from Dr. Gasparati from Italy, but it takes 8 to 12 months for people to see visible changes.
Okay. Now, one thing we also have to discuss. Now, you're not in the stores. You sell all this from your company, and that they have to contact your company. A couple of ways. You gave us the phone numbers, 888-462-7362. I'll keep giving that number out additionally throughout the weeks. Then I'll get more questions about that, as well as the website, www.marena, M-A-R-E-N-A, everyday.com, marenaeveryday.com. How does one...
And Bob, let me just mention one thing, since we were on the size. Not to mention the instant change in size. We have put people in the scanners without any clothing, and we have measured them, and then we have put our compression garments on, and that's the right compression. I'm talking we size our patients right, or our people right that we measured, and we put them back in the scanners, and every one of them had at least an inch reduction in the hips, up to 2.5 inches in the hips or waist. And that is an instant gratification of having compression. Mm-hmm.
Well, there you go. There's one thing that we needed to get across. There you go. Men and women alike. My goodness gracious. Immediate reductions. I think you've got a whole other group of listeners who their ears just perked up with that one, Marena. Marena. I keep calling you Marena because that's the name of your son and your daughter Mark and Rena. I got that correct?
Mark and Lena put together.
Okay.
Created Marena. Mm-hmm.
I got to tell you here, let's just say, don't allow anybody else in the family to be doing these kind of shows with guys like me. Your accent is so alluring, it almost makes me want to go and buy right now. And I don't think that letting Mark or Bill or anybody else do this, it would come across. It's the perfect, alluring sound that you emit that I think is so intriguing. And it's the final cap off. If you don't mind, an outsider happens.
And I want the listeners to know I did not pay you to say.
Oh, no, you didn't pay me. It's very difficult to pay me to do anything, as my listeners would know. With this sizing thing, because people are going to go to the website now, and they're going to see, I'd like to get this kind of garment. How does one size themselves so that you say you got to buy a garment smaller than you? How much smaller than you? How do we know what kind of garment to buy? Are instructions pretty much to be expected when you get to the website, or do you have some words of wisdom to pass on to those who are listening right now?
I do. And Dr. Courtney, I want to mention just one thing. I truly, truly care for people, and that's the one thing in our company that we make sure that people here care for each other, and we give each other a smile too, because you know what? Life is too short not to be kind and sweet to other people. And one of the ways that we do that in our company, we have a ballroom dancing every day at 2:30 in the afternoon. We stop the production and we go and dance, and we have fun together. We have a little dance studio now.
I don't know whether Obama would approve of this, but I'm reading that there are 80 employees that, but you said 2:15, like stop, say time out, and do ballroom dance lessons.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I got to turn you in. No, this cannot go on. Barack is not going to go for this. I can tell you that right now.
But right. We do, and we're going to keep doing it because we all just walk out of that dance studio smiling and having a good time. But talking about size, it really is important for your for your listeners to size themselves right. And we do have size charts on the website. They can if they don't have a chance to measure themselves to size and body charts, I will give them just kind of rule of a thumb.
Give them a rule of thumb. Go ahead.
How? When you put, like, let's say leggings or a tank top on, if you can pinch the garment really easily and pull it away from your skin, then that is too loose.
Okay.
If you hardly can pinch it and pull it away from it, that's too tight. You should be able to kind of, use a little bit of effort, pinch that garment and pull it away, and that's the kind of amount of compression you want. So if you can very easily, pinch it, it's not enough. If you can hardly pinch it, it's too much. So right there in between.
What's the biggest? Do the people usually go from like neck to ankle with you from the get-go, or is there a favorite garment that's usually the starter set, sort of like the stud earrings of garments?
Men absolutely love that tank top, and we have had so many men. Literally, they will not go without that tank top anymore, or a sleeveless shirt, which comes just neck is a little bit higher up. But either one of them will do the job and give you the little extra support. And then we have exercise shorts and the long ones for men. And you can slip that under your pants. Nobody will ever know that you have it. And those like tank tops and shirts, they come in black, beige, and white. And we made it beige just so that if guys do not want to disclose it at all, that they have it underneath, you will not see it. You put a beige shirt underneath your shirt, and nobody will ever know that you have anything underneath, and it really keeps you nice inside. Now, for women, very, very popular has been leggings, and then we have a little camisole that is really, really comfortable as a top. So those are the two most popular garments. The bodysuit has been coming up, and more people like that, but it's a little lower cut, and pretty much you can cover yourself in compression. It's not to have a benefit. You don't have to put yourself from head to toe in compression. Even just wearing the leggings, you will see the difference how you feel at the end of the day.
All right. Now, you wouldn't know about this, Vera, but there are bongos in the background right now, and all my listeners know that's certainly our time out of here today. I want to say I really enjoyed. I was skeptical about having this interview with you. I enjoyed it immensely. Thank you so much for really educating me and many of my listeners, men and women alike. As I say, keep up with the accent. If that's a phony accent, God bless you for being able to master it so well. And see you on the dance floor at 2:15 today. Until then, this is Dr. Dennis Courtney with Vera Watkins saying so long for AM Impact on Your Health.
Thank you so much.
AM Impact on Your Health is sponsored by Dennis J. Courtney, M.D., Director of the Courtney Medical Group, located at 3075 Washington Road in McMurray, Pennsylvania. For more information or to make an appointment, call